let's talk about another great brain food, which is honey. We're here on Queen City Bee Farm in southern Indiana, and I want to tell you a little bit about why honey is the best place for you to find a source of sweetness in your diet. Unlike sugar or high fructose corn syrup, honey has other bioactive compounds. It has molecules that these bees have traveled thousands of acres around here, 2 square mile area, and they collect the pollen. You see a little bit of pollen right here on my finger, and they collect the nectar, and they bring it back to these hives where it gets concentrated down, actually dehydrated, and that's what makes the honey. So when you see a dark, rich honey, know that you're eating 181 different compounds, things like quercetin or camphorol. They're strong antioxidants. They're really great for your health. These are called nukes, or little nuclear hives, and they're small hives. They just started. So as a new queen came and established a new colony. This is how Ian is growing his bee farm. We're smoking a little bit. That's what causes the bees to have a little honey, gorge a little bit, and then they get a little bit calmed down, a little sedate, and allow us to get in here and do a little bit of work. As you can see, Ian's getting these hives ready for the winter. He's been feeding them Diet Pepsi, which keeps the bees. He's been feeding them some sugar water so they can put down stores for the winter. This is a younger hive, and so to make sure they make it through the winter, they need to have a good store of honey for them.
See, I've given them a little pollen substitute here.
And when you get a darker honey, they've identified over 300 different varieties of honey in America. And what changes the variety is the different types of pollen and nectar sources, what is available locally. Here's a guy coming in. This is all goldenrod. You can see those big sacks full. What are they carrying? Those yellow things? Is this? Is it pollen sac, or is it
pollen sac? Just a part of their leg where they can accumulate the pollen.
Tuck it in?
Yep.
Let's follow these bees inside the hive and learn a little bit more about honey and how it's made and why it's so good for you. This box. All right, we're gonna pull this box off. This thing is heavy. Oh my God. Jeez. About 60 pounds. Oh. So the inside of the beehive is amazing. If you just come a little closer and take a peek, you're gonna see this is a
Cap brood comb.
Cap brood comb. These are going to be new worker bees next year.
So these bees should be emerging any day.
And then you can see, can you show them the dance? This is how bees communicate. They do a little dance with each other. See any dancing going on?
Look for one. This one right here.
So this guy doing his little dance. And he's directing the other bees where to deposit their nectar. It's a great dark looking honey. It's been collected from pollen. Ian was telling me earlier that a lot of pollen comes from tulip poplar trees, which are quite well known around here. There we go. So underneath this, we just scrape a little bit of this off.
Mm-hmm. There's honey.
There's honey. Whoa. This dark, rich honey, the darker the honey, usually the more compounds in it that we're after. So choose honey that's dark. And all these compounds, some studies have shown about 181 different compounds in honey. That's one of the main differences between it and just regular table sugar. And besides that, extra tasty. That's some good honey, Ian. Thank you, sir. This guy's still doing some, ooh. You guys doing a little work on this one still, right? This is what people used to use as chewing gum back in the day. It's a little burr comb with a little honey in it. Really tasty. Well, one of the ways to think about honey is these bees go out and they collect all these medicinal compounds from the different nectars and pollens of trees and flowers and grasses. They bring it back here, they concentrate it in the hive, they dehydrate the nectar, and you're left with this rich, sweet medicinal compound. So we're late in the fall here in mid-October. Ian's already harvested his honey. These guys are putting this down for the winter. It's going to be their food supply.
Stick your finger in there.
Alright, this is as fresh as it gets. Get myself a little sweet medicine. That's delicious. Also, besides honey, you can get other things out of hive. Bee pollen, and this stuff's called propolis. And these are going to be sort of some resins, and the same studies that show that honey is full of medicinal compounds also say it's in this propolis. That's why I'm going to eat it right now. It doesn't get any fresh in that. It's not as sweet as you expect. It's a little waxy. These hives are healthy. Ian's been telling me, though, that around the country there's been a lot of colony collapse. Bees serve an incredibly important function for our food supply because they pollinate all of our crops. And one of the reasons to buy honey locally isn't just because it's good for your health and good for your brain, but also because it helps support your local food environment and your local food supply.
Yeah, all the gardeners locally appreciate having beekeepers near their gardens.
These hives look healthy. Ian, are you worried about things like colony collapse disorder or the health of your bees?
I think all beekeepers are worried about it because it's been such a major point in the news over the past few years. Personally, since I'm not surrounded by a lot of massive industrial agriculture, I'm not too concerned with the CCD.
It seems like pesticides, insecticides, the things that are used in those forms of farming, is that what causes CCD?
It's certainly all the reports that are coming in are really pointing at that.
So Ian, thanks for showing us your bees. One way that you can support your local food industry and support farmers like Ian is buying local honey. We told you it's got lots of great health benefits. It's good for your brain. So thanks a lot for having us, man.
Thank you.